you that the woman caring for your children, reading them stories, rocking them to sleep during nap time, was also running a £1,000,000 drug empire in the shadows? What if behind one ordinary door, on one ordinary street in Manchester, a nursery worker, a footballer, an ex-soldier, and an engineer were building criminal operations so sophisticated they rivaled corporate businesses? This is the true story of how everyday people hid in plain sight while poisoning entire communities. Today, we uncover how the untouchable became the imprisoned. Welcome to Dark Crime Motive. If you are new here, subscribe and turn on the notifications. We focus on confirmed facts, court records, and verified evidence. Let's begin. 7:30 a.m., Moss Side, Manchester. UME Noor kisses her 3 children goodbye, walks them to school, and heads to her job at a local nursery. Parents knew her as a patient, caring, reliable, exactly the kind of woman you trust with your baby. But at 4:30 p.m., when the nursery doors closed, the transformation began. She drove home, opened her wardrobe, and pulled out 403 wraps of crack cocaine and 363 wraps of heroin. Hidden among her children's clothes, street value, over £115,000. Then she loaded the drugs into one of the 10 rental cars she had hired that month, each one carefully chosen to avoid detection, and drove to Bolton, supplying dealers who depended on her stock. A nursery worker, a mother, a drug trafficker, 1 woman, 2 lives, and a line she could never uncross. While UME Noor was running drugs across Manchester, a different empire was rising in Bradford. It started with a simple idea. What if buying heroin and crack were as easy as ordering a pizza? They called it the Sully line, a single phone number that took orders 24/7 and delivered drugs anywhere in minutes. Over 6 years, the line logged 229,000 calls, shift rotations, customer service, quality control, stock managers. This wasn't a street crew. This was a corporate-style drug empire. At the top was Muhammad Ayaz, a man who ran the business like a CEO. His brother, Muhammad Hassan, provided loyalty, and Taysawar Alam completed the leadership triangle. Below them were tech specialists, stock keepers, couriers, and teenagers recruited before they even had futures to lose. The Sully line operated with precision that most legal businesses could only dream of. But success attracts attention, and attention attracts police. Bradford again. Another house, another smiling neighbor, who seemed perfectly ordinary. Inside, Farouk Mia, a man with engineering knowledge, was designing something that stunned investigators. A gas canister, ordinary, fully functional, releasing real gas when opened, and the transporter, Safraz Latif, yet hiding 14 kilograms of high-purity cocaine, worth over £1 million. It was engineered so well that even trained officers initially saw nothing unusual. This wasn't street-level crime. This was criminal innovation, technical expertise, professional concealment, and it was about to collapse. These criminals hid behind the same tools that make normal people trustworthy. A nursery job, a football career, a family business, a construction project, a canister that worked exactly the way it should. They blended into neighborhoods that assumed danger only wore hoodies, not nursery uniforms, or work boots, or engineering badges. But every empire leaves a footprint, and soon, those footprints formed a trail. Community complaints, suspicious rental cars, SIM cards, intercepted calls, unusual activity at unusual hours. Behind every illusion of safety was a growing network of criminal enterprise. To dismantle these empires, the police didn't just rely on officers walking the beat. They built investigations like jigsaw puzzles, phone analysis, surveillance teams, stash house raids, international cooperation. The Sully line's 229,000 calls became the very evidence that doomed them. The canister's engineering marvel became proof of professional criminal planning, and UME's rental cars, so careful, so strategic, formed a breadcrumb trail straight to her front door. UME Noor should have lived a normal, peaceful life. She had children, a stable job, a reputation built on trust. But love is a powerful weapon, and in the wrong hands, a dangerous one. She fell for Michael Hassan, a repeat drug dealer with a criminal history, and a need for someone he could trust. Love became leverage, devotion became exploitation, and UME Noor, a caretaker by nature, became the logistical backbone of a drug network. Her home turned into a storage hub. Her wardrobe became inventory. Her rental cars became transport vessels. And her children, they lived inches away from hard drugs that could destroy entire families. Her double life wasn't sustainable. No empire built on contradiction ever survive. One by one, the operations collapsed. The Sully line. Ayaz, 13 years 2 months. Hassan, 11 years 4 months. Alam, 10 years. Tech specialist Mahmoud, 10 years. Runner Ram Men, 8.5 years. Young recruits, futures stolen. UME and Hassan, 6 years 8 months. UME, 4 years 1 month. Her children placed in care. Her reputation shattered. Her community stunned. Mia and Latif. Mia, 18 years. Latif, 11 years. The £1 million canister dismantled. The illusion destroyed. All of them believed they were untouchable. All of them were wrong. Behind every conviction was a broken family. A lost opportunity, a child without a mother, a community recovering from years of poisoning, addiction, violence, economic decline, trust shattered, millions seized, neighborhoods damaged, lives derailed. Criminal success is temporary. Its consequences are permanent. So why do ordinary, intelligent people choose criminal empires over legitimate futures? Money. The profit margins dwarf legal wages. Relationships. Love, loyalty, family pressure. Opportunity. Criminal networks exploit skills. From tech to engineering to childcare. Environment. Neighborhoods shaped by poverty, limited options, and normalized criminal activity. Modern drug dealing isn't random. It's structured, organized, corporate, and it recruits the very people society trusts the most. These stories show us 3 truths. 1. Criminals rarely look like criminals. They look like neighbors, workers, parents. 2. Intelligence isn't protection. The smarter the operation, the harder the fall. 3. No one is untouchable. Not the nursery worker, not the engineer, not the brothers running a drug hotline. If we want to protect communities, we must understand how ordinary people become extraordinary criminals and how those empires crumble from within. If you want more stories that reveal the hidden truths behind crime, loyalty, betrayal, and justice, subscribe to Dark Crime Motive. Your insight into the world behind closed doors begins now.